What up, everybody? It's your boy, Bluestar_Ubu, but you can call me Ubu because I want you to. And today, for the very first and very special episode of whatever I'm going to call this series, I am joined by none other than Aspen Birch Tree. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And, I guess a couple weeks ago, I don't know how long it's been, I guess a couple weeks.
I think it was a couple weeks.
I think it constitutes as a couple weeks at this point. We went on a bit of an excursion, me and Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
I've alluded to it a few times on stream, but I didn't want to talk about it too much. I wanted it to be a special occasion where the both of us can talk about our experiences mutually, I guess, in the same room together.
Yes.
So, Aspen, would you mind telling the folks a little bit about, like, what is the context? What did we do?
It sounds so suspicious when you say it like that.
Well, we need to paint a picture for the folks.
I got you.
I've done a lot of talking, so
okay.
I want you to do it.
So, once upon a time, I don't know when, but my good friend Ubu was like, you know what? We should go to a convention. And I was like, cool, I've never been to a convention. And we settled on Mario Kart.
We settled on Mario.
We settled on Mario Kart. No,
let's go to the Mario Con.
We settled on Fan Expo. Because, it was in a central location.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's nothing grand. It's just we went to Fan Expo and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Fan Expo, more like Fun Expo, am I right? Ha.
Boom.
Got him. Yeah. So we went to Fan Expo. It was the first time I've ever met, like, an internet friend.
That is true, yeah. There was also that factoring in.
Yeah, it was something special. It was very surreal. I guess that's one thing I want to talk about as well. I don't think we wrote it down as a key point, but what was it like meeting someone who you have heard the voice of ample times, and you knew what they looked like, but seeing the face and hearing the voice simultaneously? What was that like?
Yeah, so it wasn't completely weird for me because there was that one time before we recorded Movie Grits where you showed me your automaton. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just like a completely new experience because I had seen that automaton moment. So I saw you in action, but
prime Ubu playing an automaton. That's peak Ubu.
But it was like I was talking to my sister because my sister came with me to the convention as well. I was telling her, I was like, it's not weird because I know what he looks like. It's weird because you know the voice, but you don't know the facial expressions. So you have like a whole new thing to learn. Because whenever you'd say something, I just imagine your character saying it, right? And like the emotions that your character can do. But like when you say it in real life, then obviously you have your own human facial expressions. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I suppose to indulge the Aspen meeting Ubu side of it for a second, I'm still like vocally a deadpan person, but it's not like I don't do facial expressions. I mean, I know, especially whenever I do something a little gaslighty or sarcastic, I've got like a bit of a smile that I do, whereas Ubu doesn't do that. He just very straight-laced. Yeah. Very just as aloof, neutral looking as if he was saying something very serious.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like I just wouldn't pay attention to your facial expressions because, like, I know you through your voice, so I'd pay attention to that more to read your intention behind whatever you were saying, you know?
Yeah. For me, it was a little surreal because like I knew what you looked like, but
Yeah.
I'd never. It was only like a couple static images, and that was it.
That's
you know?
true. Like my driver's license photo I sent.
Yeah.
The mugshot. Not the actual
and,
mugshot. I've never been arrested, I promise.
I saw her from the front and I saw her from the side. This little sign that said what she did. No, and even then it was like, I don't know. This might have been like high school or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, I would assume been a few years. So it was interesting because that was the first time I'd paired the voice with the face, and
that's fair.
There were a couple times when we were in the car together, and I'd be like looking out the window, and you'd be talking, and this is gonna sound insane, but I legit felt like I was in a Discord call because I was hearing your voice but not seeing your face, and then I look over and be like, "Wow, that's weird."
That's funny.
Yeah. But one thing I did think about up to that point was like, you know, it almost like the moment of truth for... I'm not like a deeply insecure person, but sometimes I do wonder, like, do people like to be around me because I'm stupid, or do they genuinely think I'm funny, kind of thing? And I was like, I feel like the facial expressions might be a tell, you know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. It was cool. Like, oh wow, she's like laughing at stuff, but I can tell it's not because she thinks I'm a freak, you know. She just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I can see how that would be reassuring.
But anyhow, so that was an odd part of it. That honestly, like, as I meet more and more people, that'll be a really interesting thing. Is like, what are like the aspects to these people that like we don't see because they're an avatar, you know?
Yeah, because like I just like a quick side note, just growing up and like a lot of people I've like met in real life always tell me I like talk a lot through my facial expressions, and that was like a really kind of concern I had starting as VTubing, because I'm like, no one's gonna really see my facial expression, so they're gonna like get me. So I mean, I guess seeing me in real life, you get to experience that. I don't know, I just
yeah, there's like an extra level of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of like the inverse. I've always been very deadpan.
Yeah.
And I guess with Ubu, it's like all people can hear is the voice, so I can play around with that a bit. Whereas with the face, it's like I'm either smiling or not smiling. And those are like the two settings for real life Ubu. But yeah, that was interesting. So so we met, you know, we exchanged greetings, we exchanged gift.
Yeah. You want to explain the gift you got me?
Okay, sure. So I thought it would be neat, you know, meeting a friend for the first time, give him something to remember me by. So I went to Buc-ee's, Texas strong, Texas highlight of every good old giant convenience store, Buc-ee's. Haven't lived until you went there and bought some Buc-ee's nuggies. I wanted to get something that like was so not Aspen that I knew she would enjoy it. So I was like, I need to find like a live, laugh, love thing, you know, just like one of those signs, something just so not her that she would think it's funny. And they had live, laugh, love stuff there because Buc-ee's has everything.
Oh yeah.
It was all like $30. I was like, I'm not committing to the bit that much. You know?
It's not that special of an occasion.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't. But anyhow, what I did find though, which I don't know. It kind of struck the same chord with me without straight up saying live, laugh, love. But I found like this metal rectangle, very surprising, deceptively heavy rectangle for its size, that just says toilets.
And it's like 6 inches, right? And it's like an inch thick, 6 inches long little sign that weighs like 5 pounds somehow.
Like, would legitimately cause a concussion if you really wanted it to.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. And I imagine it still is.
Oh yeah, it's on my toilet's door. I hope the command strip holds up. Because if that falls off in the middle of the night, woo!
You're gonna need your other toilet sign as a defense weapon against whatever spooks you. I guess you could always just like get some flex tape and just double it around itself and
I'll just
smack it on the
carve
door.
a hole into the door and stick it in the permanent fixture to this apartment that I live in.
Yeah. Drill some holes on either side. Screw it in.
Yeah.
The other side of the door has like spikes coming out, but at least it's on there. But yeah, so that was my welcome gift to her was toilets.
And I guess my welcome gift was my presents because I didn't get you anything.
I didn't expect you to get me anything.
I know.
I just wanted to do something. Yeah, I don't sweat it. But after the exchange of gift, we went and ate.
Yes, we did. Well, like after, okay, just quick side note, my sister and I got lost trying to find you.
Oh.
We went to the entire wrong building, so that was like fun. On top of like, I'm about to meet my internet friend for the first time. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong building.
Yeah.
So you know, it was tense, but like not in a bad way.
Yeah. It's like, what if he doesn't say who? What if he's not who he really is?
Yeah.
Or what he's told me, and then I made you go to a separate building. No, no, actually, you made me go to a separate building.
That's true.
If anything, I should have been sketched out.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I've been having some ankle troubles recently. So I got to walk to the other side of the complex on my injured ankle. Just so y'all didn't have to spend too much time driving around.
Yeah, because, you know, gas prices nowadays.
Yeah. Not to mention, you know, you'd spend enough time just like, where the flip are we?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay. I think I know where y'all are. Just stay still. I'll hobble over there in a few minutes.
Yeah, and about 45 minutes later, you showed up.
Yeah. I said I'd hobble. I'm a man of my word. So, yeah. I've gotten to a point with the ankle where it's like, I know in a couple days it'll get better no matter what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I could just walk on it nonstop, and in a couple days it'll feel normal again.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was just like, whatever. But then,
lunchtime.
Yeah, it was lunchtime. I was hungry. So that was an interesting experience as well, because we went to like this fancy schmancy Japanese sushi place.
It was a hibachi place. If you've ever been...
Yeah.
Like, Benihana's is like a hibachi chain, so if you've heard of Benihana's, you know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was a chain place, but it was still, especially from where I come from, it was fancy.
Yeah, I'm just saying that so people, like, if you've been to
they
Benihana's,
had, like,
that's
a
where we were.
pond where you could, like, for 25 cents get some food and feed the fish.
Yeah.
They had a cool staircase thing.
They did, yeah.
They had fans blowing.
Mm-hmm. It was nice and cool.
Yeah, it was something. I mean, as much as they could make it nice and cool.
Like, I'd never been to a Benihana's before, so I was like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a hibachi grill before, but never specifically been to Benihana's.
Same.
Yeah. And you know, lunch was pretty cool. I think, in my opinion, it still hadn't set in. You know, it was still like, this is this is an interesting thing that's going on here. You know,
Yeah.
we are seeing each other, and now we're just here eating lunch. And so, you know, it was a little quiet, but it was also, you know, we talked.
Yeah, I mean, you broke the ice by dropping your drink trash into my soy sauce, so, you know,
Yep.
it's all
Hey,
good.
I let you have the other one. So, and I did the joke like I was going to cleanse my nostril with the little soy sauce.
The soy sauce neti pot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always good. That's a good icebreaker.
I would say so. You laugh. So I was like, okay, good. The ice is slightly more broken.
It was just weird though, because it was like the middle of the day on a Friday, and this was like in a business part of town. So there's just like business people there. And it was just
Got
weird
tourists.
vibes, because
Yeah.
I don't know, we walked in and the hostesses were like, "What can we do for you?" And we're like, "What do you mean?
You have
We're
much
here
food,
to
please?"
eat."
Yeah. They're like, do you have a reservation? We were just like, dude, we do one.
Yeah, is there anyone
Sorry.
here right now?
Should we go to Burger King or something instead?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we
I
got
have a bit
some
of
slushy.
social anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing. I used to be kind of an anxious person, but I guess once you put all your eggs in the just be silly in public basket.
Yeah. I was chilling. I was also very aware of how bizarre things were.
I don't know if I was aware and comfortable with it, or if I was completely oblivious and comfortable with that. But
Either
I
way.
don't know. My goal was to goof off. That's all I wanted to do for the weekend, was goof off and enjoy myself.
And that we
Um,
did.
Yeah, I would say so. Okay, so Benihana's. Is there anything else we need to talk about from there, or can we metaphorically get back in the car?
Yeah, we can get back in the car.
All right, so we hop in the car. We parked on like a roof. It was kind of funny, just because it's like it felt like, compared to what I'm used to go get food, jumping through hoops just to park.
Yeah, that parking garage was very confusing.
Yeah.
And it had like a warning outside. It was like, "Good luck." And it's like, wait, what kind of parking garage is this?
Oh yeah, it said something along like "park here at your own risk." It's
Yeah.
like, what is that? Do you like hire people to like?
Break people's knees? I don't know.
Yeah, just attack strangers in the car park.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is interesting, but we made it out okay. None of our possessions were stolen.
Not this
None
time.
of our lives were taken. Yeah, maybe next time. Next time we go to Benihana's, that might be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
But for now, you were fine. So we talked about prior how, like, you know, Aspen wanted to take the fancy person train, which
Just the train.
well, that's the thing. I've never taken one before. I've
Okay.
only seen them in like video games, you know,
Okay.
like these fancy schmancy bullet train things. You know,
Okay.
the only trains I'm used to are just like the ones that lug coal around and people graffiti.
That's
So
fair.
this was a completely new experience.
A public transportation train.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we got on one of these bad boys because Aspen was like, "Hey, what if we park the car so we don't have to park at like the dadgum convention center? We get on the train, and it takes us there. You know,
Yeah,
no
because it had to
problem
stop.
solved.
It had to stop right outside the convention center. So I was like, "Oh, it seems like a good idea."
Yeah,
And
and
I-
honestly, it wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
been on the train like a lot in like high school back when I was growing up in the area. So I was like, "Yeah, this is no big deal. It's fine."
Yeah. Well, it was an interesting first impression. Like I. Excuse me, I
Nothing
can't-
bad happened.
Yeah, but interesting things happened both
Yes.
times we got on it.
Yes.
So the first time, we all three of us get up on the train. Me, Aspen's sister.
Yeah.
they go sit in their corner. I sit in like the old person and handicapped people only spot, and I didn't realize that until later. But I was like, there's like 5 people on this train.
Yeah, there's no one on the train.
Yeah, if someone needed the spot, they should have been here sooner.
Yeah, because it's important to note, when we got on the train, I was the first person on the car, and I was like, yeah, there's no one in this car, but there were a pair of legs blocking access to most of the seats in the car, so we kind of had to just pick the first seats we could get to, and little did I know these legs would become very important later on in the train ride.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, in what I thought was a pretty much empty train, I saw the legs as well, but I thought it was just, a man taking a nap. I don't know anything about public transportation. I just assumed that was normal, and that's why no one's addressing it. But at some point, in the midst of me awkwardly sitting there and looking around, wondering how to read this map, I hear, I don't remember what it was, like a kind of a knock knock knock, and just kind of like, hey buddy, you only need one seat, something like that.
Yeah, we had gotten to like a stop, and a security guard had like hopped on real quick.
And apparently he was like, my job here is done. He left. I wasn't looking because I didn't care that much at the time, but I assumed that guy got up, security guard left, crisis averted. So later,
it was all chill.
Yeah,
Everything was okay.
No fuss was thrown. Obviously, that meant that the sleepy man was compliant and got up, and the police fella left. No big deal. So later in the trip, two security guys, two like ticket please kind of people.
Yeah, two Tom Hanks hopped on the train.
Yeah, Tom Hanks and the little boy's dad, because both are voiced by Tom Hanks, both hop on the train. And they're like, ticket, please. And I show him my ticket. He's like, okay, cool. You got your ticket. Very good.
Yeah.
Presumably, Aspen and Sister of Aspen do the same. They're like, very cool. Okay, you can sit on the train. Very awesome. And then we hear, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, get up. And I'm like, oh.
We already know what's going on.
I'm currently in the middle of playing Mario Kart. Otherwise, I would demonstrate the progressive, growing loudness that was the man slamming the walls and doing everything he could, the security guard, mind you, to wake up this guy who was taking up apparently 4 seats.
Yeah, without touching him. Touching every part of the train except touching the guy, probably for legal reasons, but geez. Yeah,
I would imagine hitting someone to wake them up would probably, like, get the actual cops on you.
Yeah,
every other part of the train around this person, had been slapped, punched, hit as loudly as possible. The guy hardly raised his voice. He was just like, hey, buddy, get up. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, buddy, you need to get up, okay?
It's hard to describe how loud this man was smacking the train walls.
Imagine like a professional boxer practicing on the inside of a train.
Yeah.
And the best part. Okay, now that the race is over.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, get up. Like that. I don't know how many cells in my hand I killed for that demonstration. I hope you people appreciate it. The best part is when the 3 of us got off the train, it was still going on.
Yeah, it was literally the stop before our stop. The train started moving again. The security officer increased his banging, and then it was our stop, and we got off, and I guess, I don't know. He called for backup. He was like, hey, we're gonna need some, like, such and such for this. I don't know what he said, but... Some
such and such?
He said,
suction cups. We need to suction him out of the train.
No, because, like, he didn't say he was calling for backup specifically, but that's what he was doing.
We need to start a shootout because this man won't get off the train. Yeah, we don't know how that ended. Maybe if one of us had checked the news that night, there would have been, maybe there was some sort of altercation on the train. I don't know. But he did not get up. I don't know if he was just drugged out on something. I don't know if he was dead. I don't know if he was just stubborn. I don't know.
Maybe he was just faking.
Yeah, maybe he just had like a grand scheme. He was like, I don't want to pay for a ticket. I'm just gonna act dead.
Dead?
Because what are they gonna do? Wake up a dead person and make them go get a ticket?
Yeah, like good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess he's just like, and on top of that, I'm going to increase my deadness by taking up an entire 2 rows all by myself. But yeah. So that was interesting. But now we have officially come to the con.
Yeah, fully prepared for anything at that point.
Yeah. You know, we saw some cosplayers and whatnot, some interesting individuals. Aspen saw Erdrick from Dragon Quest and very excitedly pointed and said Zelda, and I said no.
It was the best start. I was like, this is gonna be a great weekend.
It's Zelda, and I went, it's not Zelda, I'm just the Dragon Quest guy, I'm sorry. We saw we saw Mr. Fallout.
We saw Mr. Fallout. He had a really cool power armor costume. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, for some reason it had like a pig snout and a unicorn horn on it. But other than that,
I feel like that was like Fallout 76 kind of online purchase. I don't know. But it was really cool.
Yeah, viewers, down in the comments below, don't tell me if that's an actual thing, because spoilers, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just like to think that he ruined a perfectly good set of power armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw a bunch of Punishers, and as much as I like the Punisher, seeing someone dressed as the Punisher in a public building is always really sketch. Because not everyone had an orange tip.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, listen, the Punisher's cool and everything, but I don't... Please don't be some sort of extremist.
Please don't ruin my weekend. Jesus, yeah. I mean, honestly, to be fair, that was in the back of my mind. But I was like, oh no, I'm killing him.
I'm just laughing into my cup. It's okay. And
okay.
coughing.
It sounded like you were choking to death.
Just a typical Ubu cough.
Yeah. But, you know, because that's just how it be, I guess. But
it do be like that. Well, yeah, so we get there, and it's interesting. I was about to talk about how, like, it feels magical, but there's also, especially as the weekend goes on, a growing smell of that body odor chili smell.
Yeah.
But there was another very, very, very pervasive smell in that convention. It was frustrating. I've never been so frustrated to smell popcorn in my life.
I know, and not see a single piece of popcorn.
Yeah, the entire weekend. I think I saw a popcorn stand once, but it was the entire convention center smelled like popcorn.
It didn't smell, it reeked of popcorn. Yeah.
It smelled like not only was everyone in the building holding popcorn, but everyone in the building was holding like extra butter, extra oil, buckets of popcorn, and spilled it everywhere. Like we were wading through piles of popcorn. That's
and to be fair, I feel like they did that to cover up the, stereotypical body odor smell that conventions are so often associated with.
Yes.
However,
understandably so.
However,
because I did smell that over the weekend as well.
Yeah.
When I didn't smell butter, I smelled chili.
Yeah, to choose your battles.
Yeah, I prefer butter. But that being said, I mean, it was still a really awesome experience. So that Friday, It was mostly just to scope out the place kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like after work. There weren't that many people there, honestly. I was like, oh, is this gonna be the convention? It's pretty chill.
Yeah. Yeah, it, like a little crowded, but not too crowded.
Yeah.
Didn't really have any panels or anything we wanted to go to. We did end up going to a panel. But,
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But generally speaking, you know, a little cramped in the halls, but not too bad. No problem.
Yeah, and it was like super doable on the vendor floor. Like you could go up to the vendors. You didn't have to like fist fight anyone to get to the table or anything. It was very chill.
Yeah, like the people who were there were aimlessly walking, but if you had like a place you wanted to go, you could go to it and be like the only person at the table.
Yeah, and like the autographing area, there was like no one. I mean, to be fair, there weren't that many celebrities.
Anyone to get autographs from either.
There were a couple. The cast of Dexter was there.
Yeah, I think what's her name? Christy Carlson Romano was there. Kim Possible.
Yeah.
I want to say Giancarlo Esposito, which I still kicked myself about not meeting, was there on Friday. So there were some people, but
the lines for them were super short in there.
Yeah, as the weekend progressed, it got more and more cluttered in that area.
Oh, you have no idea.
I mean,
Saturday.
Spoilers. Yeah, Saturday. It was so hard to just walk anywhere.
It took like 30 minutes to get across the floor, and like the vendor floor was big, but it wasn't 30 minutes of walking big, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at things, you had to like, oh man, just you had to know how to like surf through people.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I want to say Saturday, in full force, there were multiple Ursula cosplayers.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know who Ursula from The Little Mermaid is, she takes up a lot of space. It's not a fat thing, I promise, although the people who were cosplaying Ursula weren't skinny. But on top of that, they also had, like, octopus tentacles going everywhere.
Yeah.
It was very inconvenient, on top of how crowded it was.
Oh, yeah.
But they did a good job, all that being said.
Yeah, I didn't see one cosplay that was like, that's so ugly. Every cosplay was
I think you forgot
good.
about the Hulk we saw on Saturday.
Did you see a Hulk? I didn't see a Hulk. Oh no!
You didn't see that Hulk? Maybe you did, and it was so
bad.
Obviously, the thing is, it was obviously intentional how bad it was.
Okay.
There's no way someone could have made that and said, "Yes, this is a good Hulk." Imagine a man in a green morph suit, wearing just a morph suit, colored his face green, and his hair, and just like wore some purple shorts, and that was it.
Are you sure he wasn't like role playing as Gumby?
No, it was. I mean, Gumby doesn't wear purple shorts.
Fair.
No, like legit. You could tell his cosplay was ironically horrible.
Okay.
And it was funny. Like, it had me and my brothers on Saturday laughing. We were like, oh, there's the Hulk, I guess. Dude, I'm just getting my Botham handed to me. Anyway, so I think at this point we are ready to, if we have any words to exchange about the panel we went to Friday night. Since we're already hopping to Saturday, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do much on Friday. We just looked around, and we were like, let's check out a panel, And my sister was like, hey, there's this one. Oh, I just got shelled. There's this panel called How to Survive a Horror Film. We didn't know the people who were hosting it, never heard of them. We're like, let's go check it out. It's no big deal. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, just kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, so we get there, and, like, my sister and I got there before you did, but, I could already tell it was gonna be bad. Just because I don't know. They were trying to set up, and I don't know. Just, I guess in summary, their sense of humor, I did not vibe with at all.
Yeah, I don't want to start beef with other content creators, but I have my doubts that they'll watch this.
Yeah.
They were the kind of people who might say something relatively funny, and then they just kind of stick with it for too long. They'll be like, if you're checking your MySpace when the killer's trying to get you, then you're kind of an idiot. And you're like, huh, yeah, I guess that's true. And they're like, yeah, I went there. That kind of and you're like, uh-huh.
Yeah, and like,
Could you continue?
there were two dudes. The dude who was like controlling the PowerPoint and doing most of the talking, he was fine. I think he would have been fine on his own, but his backup dude that just sat there and basically was the guy supplying the quips. Like one example that really sticks with me in a haunting way is they were talking about like, make sure your car has gas in it. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's a good point. But then the quip dude was like, gas? With these gas prices? Are you kidding me? And I was like, OMG, that's not even funny.
That's topical.
And just the way he said it, I was like, I think
Yeah.
I'm going to punch you right now.
Yeah, that's the thing was, like, I understand the point of the panel. I understand the dynamic they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
One of them is, like, very straight man, like,
Yeah.
I am talking about the panel's theme, and the other person's like, I'm the goofy, wacky skeptic. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough comedy with just going, why would you do that in a horror movie? That's so stupid. Just pointing out, like it's kind of a low-hanging fruit subject. Just, go lean all into that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just be like, wow, that's so silly that they did that. And everyone will be like, yeah, it is, isn't it? We are also horror fans who have come to the horror panel, and we agree. And so whenever you add, like, an extra layer of, like, I don't know, I don't think it's like, no,
just leave it.
You're not adding anything particularly funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that one joke, the quips guy, I don't know why didn't he bring up little people? I don't know. He referred to a little person as a midget, right? Which is, not the best. And everyone, like, not everyone, but the other guy was like, oh, you can't call him that. That's not, like, socially acceptable anymore. And he was like, this is an adult rated panel. I can say what I want, is basically what he said. And I was like, oh no, that's not funny.
In that moment, it's like, I wonder what other things are going to be during this panel.
It's like, those two things don't relate at all. What do you mean?
And let me tell you something about those Jews.
Yeah, I was like, he didn't say that, but if he did, I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly.
Imagine. Someone's like, this isn't a family-friendly panel, so we're going full conspiracy theories today. It was fun, ironically.
Yeah, we were just making fun of it the whole time.
Yeah, sitting in the back, doing a movie grits on their panel, basically. That was fun. There was someone, I didn't get a good look at him because I didn't want to just stare straight in the face of the person sitting next to me.
Directly next to you.
Yeah, there was someone who came in late wearing some sort of purple morph suit cosplay thing.
Yeah.
And at one point, Among Us was mentioned, and I could tell from the corner of my eye, they, like a robot, just, like, didn't make eye contact with anyone. I don't even think they looked up. They just kind of aimed their face up and just went, sus!
Super loud.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's the thing.
And to make it worse, almost nobody laughed at that. It was painful.
I want to say that they said something else, but
they said the Scooby-Doo thing.
The Scooby-Doo. Yeah, they said something Scooby-Doo.
He said Rut-Row Raggy, and everyone was like, ah ha ha ha.
Yeah, they're like, I remember that.
Yeah.
there do be catchphrases in Scooby Dooby. Yeah, so that was an interesting experience.
That was
also,
fun.
Yeah, it was. I would 10 out of 10 would heckle again. But we also heard a banging in the room next to us, and I made a joke about how they still hadn't got the guy up yet.
Because, come to find out, across the hall was a fighting demonstration, so it was, legitimate, fighting happening across the hallway, so it kind of threw us back.
Imagine, a self-defense class is going on, and, people are being slammed into the wall, and we're just...
and we're over here I can call them midgets because it's 18 plus. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, the kids are asleep now. I can call them a midget if I want to.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think the last thing for day one is the train ride back.
Of course, because we had to get back somehow.
Yeah. We had parked elsewhere, so. So with this, we sat, I think, in the very front of the train, and I remember because on the other side of the darkened glass was the silhouette of a man, and I saw a sign that said "Don't distract the driver" or whatever, and it took everything in my power not to put my thumb up to my nose and go in that direction and see what would happen. Yeah, for the first third, it was just us three, just kind of doing some more goofing off.
Yeah, and mind you, at this point, it was 9 p.m. It was nighttime.
Oh yeah, it was very dark on outside of the train. Then, about a third of the way through the trip, imagine from the movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, there's all the annoying people who crash their Hummer and get onto the train, and he beats them all up.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I imagined, but nerds. They all walk to the front of the train, and I'm I really hope they don't, because they're being loud, they're annoying me, but they're keeping to themselves. I hope it stays that way. Thankfully they did. But then, the real winner was when the lady gets on the train and sits directly behind me in the emergency seating. So she gets on the train, and she's listening to a video on her phone, even though the rules, as I'm a novice at riding the train, and I knew the rules. No audio.
Yeah.
But no one cared.
Yeah. No audio of any kind.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even talk. But yeah, I'm just whatever. I'm not gonna tell her to stop. Maybe I should, but at the same time, I'm glad I didn't.
Because, at first it wasn't, it was whatever,
Yeah, it was just, listening to home videos of, family members bickering or something.
Yeah, it was,
and to be fair, maybe that's what we're thinking of also was. I don't know.
I don't think it was.
Well, I'm sure we've piqued the listeners' interest.
Yeah.
Would you like to describe your side of things?
I will try to describe as much as I can. So, sitting on the train is pretty loud itself, so I didn't exactly notice it at first, but the more I listened, I realized this woman sitting directly behind Ubu was listening to a video of a woman what sounded like was getting her toenails removed in a torturous manner, because it was just a video of a woman screaming for her life for a solid minute, and it was so bizarre that all we could do was laugh, but we had to keep it together because she was right there. And we were just laughing about this screaming what sounded like a snuff film happening on the train until she got off the train.
I remember, our conversation about whatever, something silly, I'm sure, was dying down.
Yeah.
And as our chuckling stifled, the yells of this woman, presumably begging for her life, became more and more audible. And I felt myself just kind of do a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Like, what the ever-loving frick am I listening to? And in the corner of my eye, I could see Aspen also doing the same thing. And both of us kind of made eye contact enough to where we both, there was like that lightning bolt, like, connecting between our brains. Like, we both know what's going on. It's clicked for both of us. And we both just busted out laughing.
Like, we're in class and we're not supposed to be laughing, but you look at your best friend and you just start laughing. But you have to be quiet about it.
Afterwards, I remember thinking, like, when she looked over at me, I wonder what my face looked like, because I could feel just, like...
I feel like we looked like we were both, like, uncontrollably crying about something, because that's how bad we were holding it back,
Oh, no. Eventually, I was, like... I just started laughing, my typical...
Yeah,
kind of
like...
laugh. There was nothing I could do. It's like, what in God's name is happening behind me?
Yeah, fortunately she got off the train, like, almost immediately after that, so we were able to just, like, reflect on what had just happened.
Once she got up and the doors closed, I just went, now that she's gone, what the flip was I just listening to?
Yeah.
I've never heard a woman in such pain and distress. Especially for that long.
It was so weird, because, like, what on earth was she watching?
Exactly. It was wild. But, with that said, that was the final boss of Friday. We survived the train. We got, other than me dropping my phone upon getting back in the car, they dropped me off.
Yep.
Friday is over.
The end.
Yeah, that's the end of our trip. No. No. So Saturday. What do we do Saturday? Quite a bit, actually. We felt like livestock, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, all day.
It was dense.
Very
it was dense with humanity. It's funny because, so on top of our initial group, which was me, Aspen's sister, and my two brothers, Peggy and who Aspen calls Little Peggy. On top of that, Peggy's wife and my best friend also joined us. So we had a crew of 7 people.
Yeah. Which was fun to coordinate in a cattle herd, basically.
Yeah, because it was essentially 4 parties of people. You had Aspen and her sister. You had my family. I know I showed up with my family, but I ended up leaving with Aspen and her sister, and also was kind of the mutual force between all these people.
Yeah.
And then you had my friend who showed up like a few minutes before we went to the Brendan Fraser photo op thing.
Yeah.
And I had a hunch. I know it's almost like I know my best friend or something. I was going to give him the opportunity. Do you want to take a picture with Brendan Fraser with me and Aspen? And he was like, yeah, dude. And I was just like, all right.
Because we had an open spot. My sister didn't want to take a picture with Brendan Fraser because he was too handsome.
Yeah, he's a looker, that one. And my family just, I don't think they care.
They were there for like 2 hours before they left, I feel like.
Yeah, well, we got there, I think, a little bit before y'all. Maybe, no, I think y'all got to a panel.
Well, we got stuck standing outside in the hot summer sun trying to pay for our parking spot.
I guess generally we got there at the same time. We had the smart decision of just, like, parking a few streets away and walking, which felt nice on my ankle, but I did it in the name of saving time, which apparently we did.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they had everything fixed by, Sunday, the last day of the convention. But yeah, Saturday was 30 minutes of standing in the hot summer sun trying to pay $10 so our car wouldn't get towed out of the parking lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it was fine.
It was fine. It was cool. It was epic.
Part of the experience.
Yeah. So anyhow, we met up with friend. I guess. So you got to experience Peggy the day before, but I think you got to experience him a lot more on Saturday.
While we were eating lunch.
Yeah, he's definitely everyone in my family generally is kind of like life of the party material.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, Peggy historically, like, if he's well rested and like wants to be there, then he is in full form. He's kind of like the role model by which I modeled my, I guess, presence in social settings. Yeah, not really. I wouldn't go that far. We are definitely different people.
Yeah, you're very different.
But at the same time, yeah, I was like, okay, I had an example for what like relative confidence looked like, I guess. Even if, as you described, he was in a state of perpetual confusion.
No, he just seemed confused because every step we took, he's like, "What's that? What's going on?"
He's just excited to be there.
I know, and it was like my first impression of him, so I was like, okay. I didn't think he was actually confused. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah. Well, you said that, and apparently he heard you, and whenever y'all broke off in your own group, he was like, I heard one of them say, I'm confused. And I was like, she meant that in a good way. It's okay.
Yeah, like, that was his first impression of me, so I was like, great. He hates me now.
It wasn't your first impression, or his first impression, because we played Jackbox all together once.
That's true. We played Jackbox once.
We played Chicken Pox, and then we met at the convention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the three of us are crisscross applesauce on the floor, and Peggy's standing there talking about who knows what.
I don't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He was talking about how hot he was, like, temperature-wise.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm sweating. I didn't take my backpack off because it's wet back there.
Yeah, he talked quite a bit about how sweaty his back was. And I was like, well, at least your backpack will block it. And he was like, but the backpack's the problem. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
It was really a conundrum.
Yeah, so his little crew, you know, him, his wife, my little brother, they all left early to go prepare for GameCube night.
Yeah.
Me, Aspen, and friend waited in line for Brendan Fraser, which, in case you don't know, dear viewer, that was the thing.
The thing.
That was the moment, the apex that we were all waiting for, was me and Aspen taking a picture with the one and only guy who wore a cowboy hat once.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's ever done.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in case you aren't aware, Aspen and I became, well, the story of how he became friends, there's a little more to it, but
the
Brendan
easy
Fraser,
version.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser is kind of sort of emblematic. The first stream we ever did together was a playthrough of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, well, the first chapter of it.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of talking because I got stuck for 30 minutes on a puzzle that a 5-year-old should be able to solve in 3 seconds.
It's true, I had to look up the walkthrough for it.
Yeah, and I ended up being very frustrated with myself because But but we did a lot of talking during that time, and one of the things we talked about was that picture of Brendan Fraser posting up in the cowboy hat, the meme.
Yeah.
It's an emote that to this day is on my channel. People really love to use it. It's a silly emote. And it's all because of a conversation me and Aspen had. So and that was the first of many, many streams that we've done together. So we felt like we owed it to ourselves and our friendship, I guess, to go get a 1 year later update, I guess, with your boy Brendan.
The real deal this time.
Yeah, featuring my friend from church when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But so we wait in line. I am a man of my word, so I wore my I forgot to wipe purple guy shirt.
Yep.
Walked around in the convention all day with it. No one ever said anything. I didn't expect anyone to, because there are people there wearing much weirder things.
Yeah. There's people actually dressed up as not Purple Guy, but Five Nights at Freddy's characters, so.
Well, it's funny you say that, because when we were standing in line for Brendan Fraser, behind you was me in my Purple Guy shirt, and in front of you was a man dressed as Purple Guy. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the actual Purple Guy. Never mind, I take that back.
Yeah, like, you know, there were definitely some pretty cool FNAF cosplays. I saw, the one I saw that impressed me the most. I didn't really see any of the animatronics, but I just knew it. I knew someone there was dressed like Freddy or something.
Yeah.
But I saw Vanny from Security Breach, which is like the serial killer rabbit woman. There was someone who was there whenever on Saturday when me and my brothers were walking through. That off to the side, just being approached by people to take pictures, was someone who was like a spot-on Vanny. They even did like the creepy skipping and stuff, which is disconcerting. But no, they had the roll down pat. I don't typically care to take pictures with cosplayers. Like, I usually just appreciate it from a distance. I'm like, you do your thing. I don't know you. Just because you're dressed kind of cool doesn't mean I want a picture with you. Yeah. I was tempted to go get a picture with Vanny. I was like, that. You know, I've seen the 5 seconds of Security Breach Vanny's in. That is Vanny. That's very good. Purple Guy was a little more miss. It was just a man wearing, kind of a husky man, mind you, who, which I imagine William Afton is a little more skinny. But had like a purple shirt with like a security vest. He bought like the special edition of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, so he had the security badge. Yeah. And other than that, he just kind of looked like a security guy, ? He looks like Wario in his biker uniform, but like Five Nights at Freddy's themed.
Yeah.
So, not exactly William Afton, but I knew what he was going for because it was FNAF themed and he was wearing purple. Also, Michael Jackson was behind us, and within earshot of Michael Jackson, after he initiated conversation asking what line we were in, we started talking about Michael Jackson. It didn't dawn on me until later that, like, maybe we should be quiet.
Yeah.
Just like, and then he held his kid out the window.
I don't think we said that next to Michael Jackson, though. I think that was earlier.
He was directly behind us. That was what instigated the conversation. And also, my friend was a part of that conversation, and he doesn't exactly have an inside voice.
Well, you know. He wasn't actually Michael Jackson, so at least there's that.
Yeah, maybe he's just like an ironic fan who's probably laughing along with us.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully he's not like such a big Michael Jackson fan that he thought like we were making fun of him and attacking him as a person.
I mean, to be fair, we were the idiots because we were in the wrong line.
Yeah, we didn't want to meet Superman and Lois.
Or like the Super Fam.
Brendan. Yeah, the Super Family.
I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, it's like, is Brendan's whole family here? I thought he got a divorce. But anyhow.
That's another thing, just a quick side note. All the people in line for Brendan were like so excited to see him just because they love Brendan Fraser, but we're there because of a meme. So we're just like making fun of him, but like not actually the whole time.
We were making fun of the experience.
Yeah.
Anyway. So eventually we get there. I can't really think of anything else particularly noteworthy about standing in line other than that we did it and we were standing in the wrong line first.
I mean, one thing that was very, very important that we learned while standing in line was I checked my email to get the tickets for the picture, and I saw that there was an update like that was sent to me like a week prior that I hadn't seen. saying that Brendan Fraser was going to have plexiglass in between him and whoever he's taking a picture with. And I was like, oh.
That sours the mood a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, this either makes it so much worse or so much better. And we couldn't really decide.
Yeah, we still haven't decided.
Yeah, I have the picture right here, and I still can't make up my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can turn my head and look at it. Yeah, it's pretty goofy looking. Yeah, so we clung to a little bit of false hope because we were like, well, hey, you know, some of the celebrities are like taking down the plexiglass wall and just like hugging on the guests and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, maybe we'll like get to do a Christian side hug with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
But no,
no,
he did not. He liked him some plexiglass wall. I'll tell you.
He really
what.
did.
And it was a meme in and within itself. The process of our quote unquote photo op with Brendan Fraser. So we went into like this tent, and they were like, okay. Take your backpacks off here, and we were like, oh, okay. And then we were ushered into like the holy of holies of the tent.
Yeah.
And
the tent within the tent, like
yeah,
perhaps.
exactly. Yeah, if you don't understand Jewish slang, not slang, but yeah. So and then we were standing in like a smaller tent inside of the tent that with like a taped off line for people to stand in. Mm-hmm. Then someone asks you how many's in your party, and then they usher you to a little area, plexiglass walled off, and on the other side is Brendan Fraser.
The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, and his trusty plexiglass wall, ready to take a picture with you. Both.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like, how many in your party? We say 3. The 3 of us walk up. Brendan, without any exchange of words.
No words.
No one said a single thing.
He didn't even smile.
Yeah, he was very stern. He saw my friend's like metal band shirt. I don't know what it was.
I think it was like a Metallica shirt. I'm not sure though.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm sure he would, in very great detail, let us know what the band was, how he acquired the shirt, and how good the concert was if he was
here. If he was here.
Yeah, but so Brendan looked at the shirt and threw up the devil horns. And all 3 of us were just like, okay, I guess we're doing devil horns, just kind of non-verbally, just like, oh, okay.
AKA the rock and roll symbol.
Yeah, the, you know, like the Spider-Man I love you thing, but without the thumb. And then we stand next to the plexiglass wall. They say 3, 2, 1, and then we leave. We grab our backpack.
Get the heck out of there.
Yeah, they push us out. It's like a subway in Tokyo. They push you violently. And then we're off to stand in line to get our pictures.
Thinking, like, just praying that it was at least a good one and we had our eyes open.
Yeah. And it felt like 10 seconds.
I think it was 10 seconds.
Yeah, because Aspen was counting like the whole time.
No, I wasn't.
She's counting out loud. Those were the only words exchanged. No.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. That's how many seconds I spent in the presence of
Brendan Fraser plexiglass.
Yeah. Whenever we walked out, I want to say Aspen was like, "Is it really over?"
Did that actually just happen?
Is that it? Something along those lines. Like, was that it? Because it died. It was goofy. It was something.
Yeah, because, like, from my perspective, walking in, I was the first person in the line walking in to take a picture with Brendan. If you've seen it, I posted it on Twitter, if you want to get a taste. And maybe the editing magic might insert a picture into this, I don't know.
Probably not.
But maybe.
I mean, yeah, maybe. We'll see. See how the editor's feeling.
But I was really trying to overcome my just anxiety of the situation, you know? Like, I wasn't too stressed about him being a celebrity or anything. I was just like, this is happening really fast. And there's so many things, like, I want to make sure I'm, like, you know, smiling half decent and whatever. I tried to make eye contact with Brendan, okay? I tried to make some sort of connection with this man. And he looked directly over my head at Ubu's friend. I don't know if it's because I was a whole foot shorter than him, or he was just not vibing with my style.
Yeah, I think you were just tiny.
Yeah, I think he literally didn't even notice me.
Yeah, he probably thought he took a picture with two people. Maybe one, I don't know.
Because I felt a little attacked because I saw other people's pictures that were women, and he was doing like a little heart hand symbol across the plexiglass with them. And I was like, okay, I feel a little attacked.
maybe he did like a last second strategy and was like, you know what, this is the kind of girl who wants to do the devil hands.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, maybe he made that assumption because you were in the presence of someone wearing a metal shirt.
Yeah.
Who you had known for probably 30 minutes.
Hey, he's great. I had a great time with your friend.
Oh yeah,
so
he's
funny.
a goofy guy.
I just like to imagine how if he had seen your shirt first, how that would have changed the pose.
We all posed like we were in a state of discomfort.
Yeah.
Or just doing the Fortnite thing that purple guy does.
Yeah.
But yeah, just in the blink of an eye, it's over. The thing we've been planning for months is like, Brendan Fraser is no more in our lives. You know, maybe someday we'll do an update picture, but for now,
that's over.
This is it. You know, like no more Brendan for at least the rest of the year.
Yeah. We spent some money on it too.
Oh yeah. It's an ironically good picture. I mean, personally, it's rare that I look at myself in a photo and I'm like, hey, I look okay. This is one of them. But as far as the Brendanness goes, it legit looks like we taped a picture of Brendan Fraser to our picture.
Yeah, and then photocopied it.
Yeah. It doesn't look like... It looks like legit two separate pictures. Because of the plexiglass wall.
Yeah, it's 100% because of the plexiglass. It's so bad. And
it's ridiculous.
If there is no inserted photo into this, I heavily implore you to check out my Twitter and look at... It is an edited version for, you know, face reasons. Yeah. But other than that, that's just the picture.
I mean, it was actually unedited. We were all just so enamored by the presence of Brendan that we turned into him.
Yeah, but it's a good picture.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
Yeah, all three of us got physical copies. It was just that magical of an experience. Yeah. So afterwards, friend is like, hey, I've only been here for like less than an hour. Y'all can leave. I'm gonna walk around a little bit. And, you know, I was like, okay. So, me, Aspen, and Aspen's sister, who, in case you forgot, is here, because I know for a while we have not mentioned her, because she went to a panel.
Yeah, she went to a D&D panel.
Yeah, and that gave me an idea for a panel I want to do someday, but maybe someday, instead of me telling you about it, you'll just experience it, viewer.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Some people seem on board, some people don't. I don't know. We'll see. But, anyhow. So, we hip-hop over to Peggy's apartment and play some GameCube. We tried to play Medal of Honor Frontline. It didn't work, even though all of the games that I packed were in working condition whenever I brought them. We ended up playing Mario Party 5. It was Aspen and Aspen's sister, I would assume's first experience with Mario Party.
The GameCube.
Yeah, and the GameCube in general.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sucks that, like, I expected to be able to pack that much gaming into such a short amount of time. And I started with Mario Party. That's such an awful game to start with when you want to, like, rapid-fire games.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't your fault. We were on a time crunch because, like, I was also visiting my parents, and they were like, hey, we should, like, hang out maybe. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Because I live, like, 700 miles away from my parents. So...
Yeah.
Wasn't your fault. I don't blame you. It was still fun, regardless.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you had fun. I kind of, sort of, I was like, I want to keep playing GameCube, but I also want them to have fun, so I was, like, kind of nervous, and we ended up playing Jackbox. But we did play some Mario Party 5. It was kind of a goofy time. I feel like Mario Party is a good thing to start with, especially, you know, I've played Mario games with Aspen. I wanted to start small, so we did.
Yes.
Yay, Sherbertland. Sorry.
Boo, Sherbertland.
Hey, why'd you choose it?
Randomly chosen.
Oh, okay. Well, don't boo my favorite track. Anyway, so yeah, we played some GameCube and some Jackbox, and well, everyone except Aspen and her sister ate some pizza, and then they left, and we continued to play GameCube.
Yeah.
And that was the end of Saturday.
And there was also, I think it's kind of on brand, to mention that there was an underlying plot while at your brother's place, and he was trying to figure it out. What smelled so bad?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And he thought it was little Peggy's shoes, and your mom was like, full name, stop it, you know, because guests are over, but I thought it was hilarious.
No,
And it turned out it was his son had morbed his pants, so...
he pulled a Milo, finally.
Yeah.
But,
and it was really funny. I just thought I'd mention that because I thought it was so funny.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's a very Peggy thing to do, is, like, fixate on one thing that I don't even know if anyone else noticed.
I noticed.
Oh, you... Okay. Well, I guess if his son was in closer proximity to me, I definitely would have, but...
Well, because it was like a whole half hour of him trying to figure out what smelled so bad, and he was like... Went over to your mom and, like, whispered in her ears, like, do you think it's little Peggy's shoes that reek? And then he went over and, like, Febrezed them and threw them on the balcony or something.
I guess I wasn't paying too much attention because I was like, I hope they like the GameCube. I hope they like the GameCube.
Yeah, I was over here watching a whole telenovela happen before my eyes.
Yeah. Par for the course, I would say. Mm-hmm. But other than that, we did some epic Jackbox, and then they left, and then we ceased to exist until Sunday.
Yep. Just dropped off reality.
Yeah. Just like a book closing. We just everything was white. But anyhow. So Sunday, our crew got smaller because not only did Peggy's wife and my friend only buy a one-day ticket, but Peggy and little Peggy decided that they were feeling a little under the weather. They just wanted to stay behind and chill for Sunday. So it was just me, Aspen, and Aspen's sister, scoping out the remnants of the weekend.
Yeah, Sunday wasn't as crazy as Saturday. It was more close to Friday, so it was refreshing.
I know I just bumped the mic twice. I'm sorry. Sunday was you could walk very comfortably in like that vendor hall thing. So y'all went to a Dexter panel, the serial killer guy show.
Yes.
I was going to join you, but couldn't find you, and also don't care about Dexter.
Yeah. So I was like, you don't have to come.
Yeah, I was like, y'all have fun. I'll just be heckling the whole time because I don't care.
I mean, I was kind of heckling too, but it was fine.
Yeah. I mean, you were a good sport about the heckling, but I understood this was something that y'all enjoyed. So I let you do it. I stayed behind and I drew for an upcoming project, and I played Mario Kart. In the hall. Well, in the hall! No, like off to the side. But I got to experience some things, and y'all got to. I haven't actually asked how the panel went. So before I go into my adventure, Dexter panel, how'd that go?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... Nothing wild happened. It was just cool that this show that came out, like, over 10 years ago, all the main cast members were able to show up. So, like, for anyone listening who knows anything about Dexter, there was Dexter, Deborah, Masuka, Angel, Mandark. No, the guy who played Dexter's dad, and Sergeant Dokes. All of them were there, so it was like super cool just to see them all in the same place again. And it wasn't, nothing crazy happened. It was mostly just a Q&A. People went up and asked him questions, and it was mostly Michael C. Hall, aka Dexter, trying to convince everyone that he's not actually a serial killer. Yeah, so it was just a chill Q&A. Nothing crazy happened.
Cool.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I would say some very interesting things happened while I was in the hall drawing.
Yeah.
First and foremost, people dress like Genshin Impact characters. If you're listening to this, your cosplays were good, but y'all need to tone it down a bit. Because every few minutes, like kids on a playground, y'all would sprint through the hall yelling like you were playing tag, and then you would just disappear. And then like 10 minutes later, you'd do it again. And I don't know, guys trying to concentrate on some Mario Kart. So.
Yeah, how dare you interrupt?
Exactly. I know we're at a convention, but you need to. Everything needs to be quiet for me.
Yeah. Don't you know who he is?
Yeah, the Ubu. I mean, they had a whole expo for me anyway.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah. But then, all of a sudden, I noticed that there's like the shrill sound, this shrieking music in my ear, and I realized that down diagonal to the left of me, if some yards away, there's people doing like choreographed dance to J-pop songs, and it just doesn't stop. And I'm like, cool. I think I recognized one of them, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But generally, I was just like, oh, okay, dang. They memorized the dances.
That's cool.
And then I heard, excuse me, I had to burp. Then after that happened, a man got up onto the stage, and he was talking like this, just like this, putting emphasis on words. And I was like, it's Sunday. Maybe, I know every once in a while, there are like some nerds who happen to be Christian, and they kind of intertwine with the conventions, and so I was like, okay, I'll listen in. I'm not able to go to church this Sunday. Let's see what he's talking about. When I tuned in, what he was saying was something along the lines of, I have friends who are Keyblade wielders and Master Jedi and avatars and Pokemon trainer, and he was just doing that the whole time, and I was just like, this isn't a sermon.
I was horribly wrong.
Yeah, I was greatly disappointed. I don't even like, and he was up there for like a good 45 minutes just doing that, just like words of affirmation for nerds or something.
Yeah.
And eventually, once the Dexter panel ended, I was like, okay, just follow the sound of the man giving like a nerds are awesome spoken word. And the second I sent that text, he got off the stage, and I was like, oh, dang, well, never mind. But then another guy got on the stage, and I was like, oh, hold on. And by the time we met up, there was this dude. At least the other guy, I could make out the meaning of what he was saying.
Yeah.
This man was just going off about something, and eventually I want to say verbatim, he said, like, Peter Parker saved me from a monster, and then he got in a pool, and he spoke everything but the truth, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds all poemy, but it's nothing. You were saying nothing. And then he started getting really sarcastic. He was like, thanks, Peter, for saving me from the Green Goblin. Thanks for saving me when Venom tried to eat me. And I was just like, what is this man talking about? Why is he Why does he
Who
have
let
it
him
out
up
for
there?
Peter? Yeah. He's just a crazy person. Yeah, so that was interesting. I got to listen to all of that while they got to listen to like people from a show they liked. So,
Yeah.
maybe that was the show I liked. But
knows?
but anyhow. So then we kind of scoped things out one last time, just looking around, taking advantage of the fact that there's not really that many people around,
Yeah, and it's getting close to the end of the convention too.
Yeah, people are starting to go home, probably go to work. Saturday was their only day off, so they all came for Sunday, or no, they all left for Sunday. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We did a lot more shopping, I think, on Sunday than the other days. I think Friday I bought a couple art prints and some stickers, and that was about it. But Sunday, no, I sold the bank. But yeah. And I think the only other or the last thing we did was go to a Q&A panel for Elijah Wood.
Yeah, we saw Elijah Wood.
Yeah, that was an experience. There's a lot of heckling like the other panel, but we also unironically enjoyed ourselves, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because Elijah, he's an interesting dude. And
yeah, there is, even though I wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's him! But at the same time, there is something kind of surreal about seeing someone you've only seen on television. But yeah, he's like a few yards away from you. That's pretty cool. But yeah.
And he was very lively, and he seemed like he was really excited to be there,
Oh yeah, he was very. It was almost night and day compared to Brendan. Brendan Fraser exchanged no words and didn't want to make physical contact with you. Elijah Wood was laughing and just having the time of his life. Spent like 5 minutes to answer some kid's question that was, he
literally a kid.
Loves his, yeah, like an actual child went up and asked a question.
She was concerned about in the third Lord of the Rings movie when he got his finger bitten off by Gollum, and he had to reassure her that it was all fake.
Yeah, I will, but also, there was this air about the conversation as if this wasn't the first time they met, and it was really cool. It was this is someone who cares about his fans, I think.
I think, or he's really good at faking it.
Yeah, either that or they literally talked 5 minutes ago. But they both see, or he seems very jubilant, very excited about the whole thing. Which is funny because there's that JonTron video about the PSAs, and one of them is a safety video for an airline in New Zealand, and Elijah Wood's in it. One of the things JonTron says is I'm sure he gets tired of a bunch of sweaty guys getting really excited about seeing him. But no, he seemed really happy.
Oh yeah.
And that was cool. I considered going up and asking a question about the guy from Spy Kids 3D, but ultimately it was more of just a haha, wouldn't it be funny if I did that kind of thing.
Yeah, there was too many people online. We didn't have a chance.
Yeah, even if I legit did that, I wouldn't have been able to ask the question.
Yeah.
But we had a good laugh about it.
It was good, and then also I want to mention, halfway, or almost towards the end of the panel, these Star Wars characters just, appeared, in the front of the stage. You remember that? I
remember. On my side of things, I started cackling the second you said Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to explain why they were there?
Sure. So, I guess give a little background. We're sitting there watching Elijah Wood talk enthusiastically to his fans. We see one of those red guys from Last Jedi, from the Snoke's throne room scene. The oh my gosh, look at the choreography. One of those guys just marches up with his blaster stick thing, and
his costume was good. I'll give him that.
It was good. It was very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
It concerned me because
it was
when I think of Elijah Wood, I don't think, hey, Star Wars character needs to be here. So the fact that there was a Star Wars character there, I was like, either someone is just way too proud of their cosplay, or something is about to happen. And I don't know if that... I'm assuming that something is kind of neat, but I'm concerned.
We can only hope.
Because I would expect during an Elijah Wood panel that, like, a Lord of the Rings, like an orc would walk up or something.
Yeah.
Not Supreme Leader Snoke's personal bodyguard. So, I was like, we're about to get firing squatted by, like, actual lasers.
It'll be a world first.
Yeah, world premiere. But no, at the end of the Q&A, there's some people dressed in, like, vaguely Star Wars themed outfits. I think someone was straight up dressed as Rey, but generally it was just like nasty vests and stuff that, like, a Rebel Alliance member would wear.
Yeah.
And they go up and they're like, on behalf of the 501st Legion, Elijah Wood, we congratulate you and welcome you into our ranks. And everyone claps, even though we're all like, what does this have to do with Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
So, I think maybe he does a voice for, like, a Star Wars show that I never heard of.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay, so they're, like, live, and for the first time ever, for your role in a show that Ubu, a relatively avid Star Wars fan, didn't know existed, you get to be a part of the battalion of clones that killed the younglings.
Yeah.
In case you don't know a little bit about Star Wars, the 501st was Anakin's Legion of Clone Troopers.
Oh, interesting.
So that means they killed children.
Elijah.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
However, it's the like platoon that everyone knows. So, like, 501st is the cool number, even though they're the child murderers. But anyhow, yeah. So I was completely just like, what is happening? What?
Yeah,
like,
they gave him, like, this cool little plaque with his name on it and everything. It was interesting.
Yeah, he, like, graduated high school in the middle of this Q&A.
Yeah.
He graduated Star Wars high school, I guess. And then after that, we were like, well, I guess Elijah Wood is a Star Wars character now. Let's go home.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that, as far as the actual events go, that was, that's what happened. But we also bought some stuff.
Yes.
So we could talk a little bit about that. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I mean, so it took me until Sunday to, like, actually buy anything because I was convincing myself, I was scoping the scene. I was like, if I still want it by Sunday, then I'll get it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's not the cheapest. So I ended up getting, like, 5 posters. So I got a Skyrim poster, of course. I couldn't find an Oblivion one. Sad day. But I got a really cool Skyrim poster that doesn't exactly look like a Skyrim poster, you know? It's not like the dude standing on the hill, like the stereotypical
It doesn't
thing.
look like the artwork on the cover of the box.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
Yeah, unlike the artwork on the box.
Yeah. Super lame. Whoever drew that, bad.
Shame on you.
But, so I got that, and I got a God of War poster, like the recent God of War with the boy.
Yeah.
Because that's a good game. And what else did I get? I got a Our Flag Means Death poster because it was literally the only Our Flag Means Death merch I found at the convention, which was shocking to me, considering its relatively popularness. So I got that. And then I got an Uncle Iroh coaster.
I was about to say Uncle Grandpa.
I got Uncle Grandpa. No,
I got an Uncle Grandpa art print.
No.
Yeah,
But
Uncle Iroh's cooler.
Uncle Iroh coaster, because there wasn't much Uncle Iroh merch that I could find, and he's like the best. And then I think the Princess Bride poster that I bummed off of your buy 2 get 1 free. I think that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, that's still a bit. That's still quite a bit. We both left with a decent amount.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's something about cons where like you go and you're like you buy one thing and you're like, oh, I want to feel the feeling of getting something else.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad I waited until Sunday, because otherwise I think I would have literally no money left in my account.
Which is a nice segue to me. Oh, no. Because I started buying the second I got there. And I'm trying to think. So the first booth we went to was like this creepy art print guy. You know, he did some not creepy stuff. That's where we got the Princess Bride art print. But the two things I got, well, one of them's creepy and one of them is awesome. Like when I show people the art prints I got, people are like, that Venom art print you got looks awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So I guess I'll name drop the artists because I found all three of them, and I want people to support them. Chris Oz Fulton is the name of the creepy guy. The thing that drew me to the table. Aspen pointed and was like, "Look, Springtrap." And I was like, "Holy crap! They got a Springtrap art print. I gotta go get that. I'm here with money."
FNAF stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I needed some FNAF. You know, for as talking about FNAF as I am, I don't have a lot of FNAF stuff. And most of that is because I don't, you know, the stuff Funko makes, I'm not particularly interested in. But an art print, heck yeah. So I went up, I got my Springtrap art print, and they're like, "Hey, if you buy 2, you get a 3rd art print free." And I was like, okay, I'll look through your portfolio. And I found an art print of Venom, and that looks awesome. Looking at it right now, it looks legit leaps and bounds better than like a lot of modern Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like Chris Oz Fulton, you get the Ubu seal of approval, which is basically like 4 Michelin stars for art prints. However, you know, as Aspen was looking through the portfolio for her eventual Princess Bride art print, I noticed that there were more than just Springtrap as far as FNAF goes. It didn't strike me a little odd that all they, you know, I know they also had Foxy, but I was like, I don't really care about Foxy, whatever. But
it seems kind of random.
Yeah, it's like, I know he's one of like the big 4, but like Springtrap and Foxy being all you have is random, yes. So they have some other ones, and one of them was ya boy, my, like, probably the most popular character out of like my top 3 favorite FNAF characters, the puppet. And I was like, "Excuse me, I know you already sold me the Springtrap art print. May I please exchange it for the puppet?" And they were very nice. They said, "Screw you." No, I'm just kidding. They said, of course.
They said, "Get out of here."
Yeah, they said, "No refunds, get out of my sight." No, they traded it out, and I'm also looking at the puppet art print, which, when we got back to Peggy's place, they asked me to hide because they didn't want to give my nephew nightmares. Because the puppet's a freaky looking character. That's why I like it so much. It Puppet does what Fazbear and Friends don't. And when I say that, I mean he actually looks freaky. I guess because whatever. It's
a puppet.
But yeah, it's weird. But anyhow. And then, you know, Aspen got the Princess Bride one. The only other thing I bought that day, I got some Emperor's New Groove figurines. I could have gotten, like, an entire set, but I was just like, I want Kronk and I want Pacha. I don't know what compelled me to get Pacha, but I wanted Kronk. You know, I guess...
They have similar vibes.
Do they?
Yes.
Is there a Pacha's New Groove movie?
Pacha's New Groove.
It's just him living a humble life with his family. Anyhow, Yeah, so I got those, and then I got 3 Mario stickers, and I tried to give 2 of them to Aspen and her sister, and they didn't seem particularly interested, so I gave them to my siblings. And those were the purchases day 1. I'm sure I bought something the second day. I just can't think of what it is. I mean, the Brendan Fraser photo.
Yeah.
I'm looking around my room because I've got like all my stuff everywhere. No, I guess everything else I got, it was just the photo, and a bunch of food. That was very expensive. I spent $30 on some OK barbecue and a chicken wrap.
We should have waited in line at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we should have, but we didn't. But that's water under the bridge. So Sunday, I got 2 more art prints from 2 other artists. Jed Henry is a very good artist who does stuff in like that like woodblock Japanese style. You know what I'm talking about? Like he would take like concepts from video games and stuff and make it look like samurai. You know, like fighting the yokai armada or something like that. I found one. Apparently it's based off of Spirited Away. I wouldn't know. I've never seen it. I would like to, but I haven't. It's just like 2 kids talking in like this really sunset colored like big old tower, and it looks really cool. Yeah, so I got that.
It's cool.
Yeah. And then I guess Aspen returned the favor because I wanted to buy an Animal Crossing art print from an artist by the name of Quarkalicious.
Quarkalicious, yeah.
Card was declined, so thank you, Aspen. But I also bought one of those big like Lego panels that you use as a floor, like for your little Lego diorama, because
the Lego paper towel.
Yeah, Aspen and I have a little bit where whenever we see that, which isn't often, mind you, but when we do, that's not like the classic Lego floor. That's the Lego disinfectant wipe or something like that.
Yeah, and
Tissue,
like piece of paper, like anything flat and white.
Yeah, exactly. It's some sort of like paper that like you wipe your mouth with or blow your nose with or something.
Yeah.
It was pricey. I don't know why it was $7, but for the meme. Still haven't taken it out of the packaging because I don't know what to do with it other than just look at it and chuckle. But I also got a jumbo puppet plush from FNAF.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty epic, pretty cool. I'm happy with it. It's in the corner of my room. One time one of my family members came in the room to tell me goodnight and legit got freaked out by it because they forgot that I had it. And I was like,
nice.
But speaking of plushes, I saved the best for last.
The main event.
Unless I'm forgetting something, I saved the best for last. Your boy, Babu Frick, talking plush. Honestly, Babu Frick is from Star Wars, Episode 9, a movie I haven't seen and have no desire to see, but I know the character. It's so weird, because his body is a plush, and his head is not. It is like sculpted plastic. So it looks like they beheaded Babu Frick and put him on a Build-A-Bear. And he has like these marble eyes. It looks all glossy. It's so weird. But the best part is you press the button on his foot and he says some of his iconic catchphrases, such as fictional Star Wars language talk. But of course, Babu Frick, you have to ask the question, does he say the thing? And we found out when I first pressed the button in the car, and it caused us to laugh very hard. He does say the thing. He does a little bit of a hey whenever you press the button. He does it more enthusiastically than that. It's more of a hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's right here next to my automaton. It's the meme audio characters. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me
let's have a taste.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say the thing, but he did talk, so you believe me now. Anyway,
he's here.
Yeah, he's here. Thank heavens. We've been wondering. But yeah, and that was what I got. Obviously, the most important thing was the $15 Babu Frick plush that I could have bought at Walmart. But if you got to throw someone, you know, some support, other than Hasbro for making Babu Frick, definitely Chris Osfulton, Jed Henry, Quirkalicious, Epic. I went and I Googled all of them. I was like, I'm going to follow them on Instagram. And I am true to my word. I'm a man of my word. I did it. I did it absolutely. And they're cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here.
Here. Amen. I did see, like, this little photo thing of Samus from Metroid with a Metroid also from Metroid.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy it.
It was really cool.
It was pretty darn cool. It was like,
it was on wood, too, wasn't it?
Yes, the more that we talk about
the more I'm paid.
It's okay. No, because I collect Metroid stuff. Metroid's one of my favorite video game series. And that was the only Metroid thing I think I saw. It was probably kind of pricey. That's probably the thing that deterred me.
Yeah, I think it was like $50.
Yeah, which to be fair wasn't too much more than the puppet plush. But yeah, if I just didn't buy the puppet plush and the Lego disinfectant wipe, I easily could have bought the Samus wood thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like a wood graving of her artwork from Smash for Wii U and 3DS for you med heads out there. That's
Samuel
what we call
from Meteor
now.
Game?
Yeah, Samuel from Meteor Man. But yeah, it is really cool. I did not buy it though. Oh, mushroom.
Oh, I got a Bullet Bill being in 3rd place. That's weird.
Dang, lucky.
Didn't even know that was possible.
You know what else is lucky is getting first. Oh wait, that's skill.
I almost beat you one time.
Hey, you did beat me one time.
Oh, I did? I don't even remember.
Maybe? Well, no, that was when I was blindfolded. I'm trying to... I'm trying. Trying to help. But anyhow.
I mean, that's pretty much it as far as the con goes.
Yeah. We have a couple more races, so we might as well just finish. We do have another thing we could talk about.
Oh, no.
And this is going to be interesting because we don't want to spill the beans just yet. But there was a reason, other than meeting Brendan Fraser and meeting each other, that we went to the con.
Mm-hmm.
Because we wanted to scope things out a bit, you know. I'm trying my dog. I don't know how much you are willing to talk about.
I don't care.
Okay. Because I of course, I'm a very theatrical individual.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to announcements. I want as many people, and I want it to be like a big event, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, ladies and gentlemen! But, I did talk a little bit about it, or allude to my, you know, a little bit of R&D I've done into merch making, on stream Sunday.
Yes.
I'm not the only one who's been looking into that.
Peeping it.
Yeah, I'm not the only merch peeper in the room.
Merch peeper. It's no good.
Hey, you're the one who set me on this road. But yeah, Aspen is also a merch peeper. Dare I say it's because the two of us mutually have some plans that we're working on. Would you dare to say something similar?
I would dare to say something similar.
Yeah.
Yes. That was great.
But yeah, you benefited from that. Yeah. So we went to the con because one of these days we want to be vendors at a con, and both of us, like, I guess the concept of being a con appeals to us, but not like it's been a few years since I went to my first and only con. Aspen had never been to one.
Yeah.
So both of us were like, well, let's get a little more familiar with like the culture and how things happen, get an idea of what people like to buy, what we like to buy, what we would want to make.
Yeah. Get some reference, scope it out, as we've been saying this whole time.
Exactly. Yeah. We were like Slugworth from Willy Wonka. We're trying to get that everlasting gobstopper recipe so that we can replicate it for our booth.
But like not in the fact that he was actually working for Wonka all along, kind of.
Yeah, we've actually been employed by Corkalicious. No.
Corkalicious, yeah.
But
no!
Bye.
That's fine.
Unceremonious.
No, you can't break through the fence. I hate my.
You teleported pretty far on the map, and then just like stopped abruptly.
It's the worst day of my life. Anyway,
but yeah. So in the next couple months, maybe month, 2 months, I don't know, we will have more to talk about. But right now we are in the planning stages.
Yeah.
We have some big, fun stuff. We don't just want to sell stuff at cons. At least this is an idea that I proposed, and Aspen did not protest. But it would be cool to have a website to sell stuff on. But we've got a little bit of an idea going. We've, I think, become relatively comfortable in the concept. Aspen wants to make like some creepier stuff.
Ooh.
But I know myself well enough that like whatever I end up making, I can draw kind of creepy things, but so maybe I'll like help her with her side of stuff. But on the flip side, I want to do some goofier merch, and if I want to employ her, get some help from her, or she has an idea for something goofy, then she can help. So it's kind of like a bit of
team.
Yeah, it's almost like we're starting a little team or something. It's almost like we're a suicide squad.
We're some kind of suicide squad.
Yeah, we did sign a suicide pact. So
yeah, that's besides the point, though.
Yeah, just like the Suicide Squad. But yeah, I can speak for myself. I don't know what Aspen's thinking, but I'm very excited because making merch is something I've wanted to do for a while. I mean, years now. The concept of making something that like a fan or just anyone, someone who just sees it and goes, that's cool, and they can hold it and like it puts a smile on their face. That's something that I am overjoyed to think about the concept. And as time goes on, we've got some big plans. I don't know if y'all are prepared for just how big the plans are. I mean, whenever I put out a feeler for like what would y'all be excited to buy, and quite a few people said an Ubu plush, and I was like, oh my friends, you don't know.
You have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know the storm that will be coming, do you?
That sounds so threatening.
No, like I told them, I was like, I'll come clean with you. I have looked into production costs for Ubu plushes, and I was like, it's not something particularly doable now, but in the future, if I were to become comfortable with the concept of a Kickstarter, like to the point that I think it would fully fund, then yes.
Yeah.
I am significantly more comfortable in the concept of producing an Ubu plush. And, if the Ubu plush does well, who's to say that there won't be other characters that are down the line?
Mm-hmm.
I did draw a little mock-up for someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe you could guess.
Derpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our good friend Derpy, who is also a part of this. No, he's not a part of it. I have told him some of the ideas.
And you never will be, Derpy.
Yeah, Derpy. Maybe if you stopped dropping a carrot cake every few minutes. But No, I have shown him some of the stuff that I've drawn up, and he's like, "Homie, I'm not gonna lie, that's mighty majestic." So, but yeah, we're both very excited, and one day soon, we're gonna have some really cool professional stuff. Professionalism.
I had to do it once.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised. Like, the whole entire weekend, whenever we were together, I didn't hear the a single time.
It's usually in response to someone else saying
Oh, well, that's not entirely true.
That's true. I do have my moments.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, like, whenever we were watching Boss Baby, you just did it, and that's what made me laugh so much. Dang, that was a trick shot.
Yeah, I set that up. Oh! I totally blocked that shell.
I don't know if someone threw a boomerang at me, but it was very close to me. But
no, that was a shell that I blocked with my body.
Oh, it was you.
Yeah,
you
it was
were the
mine.
blue boomerang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho.
Yeah, so that was our foray into Fan Expo. It was very exciting.
Oh no! I've been set off.
It was a lot of fun, and I think the two of us, soon enough-ish, have entertained the idea of doing it again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Listen. If there's a con on a day that ends with Y, Ubu and Aspen are gonna be there. You hear me?
Oh yeah.
You don't know who it's going to be because none of you know what we actually look like IRL, but we'll be there at any con. Just yell Ubu and Aspen as loudly as you can, and
someone will respond.
Yeah, someone maybe. I don't know.
Please let me win this. Please let me win this last one. Yes,
you did it.
I did
it. No tricks or anything. You just won. No blindfold.
It took me 32 races to beat you.
Hey, there's a 1 in 32 chance that you snatch victory from Ubu.
Oh, wow. That's so funny.
Hey, you got second. You know what they say about second place?
Loser.
I would... No, that's...
I would never.
You need a higher self-image there. All right, and with that being said, what a great picture to end on. Dr. Pill running up and then disappearing in the Ubu with his crown. Bye. I don't want to race ever again. I'm a bad sport. Anyway, so thank you all for listening to this this exclusive. I think this one. So this will be the first episode, and just to wet people's palate a little bit, I think I'll put this on YouTube. But later episodes will be on my Patreon, link in the description below if you would like to listen to that. We will have some amazing guests, I'm sure. I know for a fact at some point Aspen will come back. Maybe we won't talk about a con we've been to, but we might just talk and goof as you do. So, yeah. Imagine movie grits, but we're making fun of something. I don't know. Next time we might... I don't know if we'll play Mario Kart, but... Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Aspen, thank you for joining me. Alright. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!